everybody, Mary here. I wanted to do a video today about the campground that we're staying in. As you know, in our first video, we talked about the fact that we are a military family. My husband is a retired Air Force, and we do spend a lot of time at military campgrounds. I wanted to share with you just a little bit about a campground that we stay at pretty frequently. In fact, we kind of refer to this as home base, if you will, and it's called Camp Atterbury, and it's just outside of Edinburgh, Indiana. And Camp Atterbury is kind of a unique base because it used to be an active duty military base, but now it is Indiana National Guard, and it's also kind of an Army Reserve base. But it's pretty cool because it's got a great training facility here. So they can do a lot of air bomb training, they can do a lot of long range gun training. So it's kind of a cool place. In fact, on the right day at the right time, you can hear gunfire kind of all around you, which if you're not military, that might be unsettling, but for those of us who are, it's kind of our normal way of life. So I just thought that I would take you on a little tour of this campground, tell you a little bit about the amenities, as well as some of the great features that the base has to offer as well. So let's take a walk and check things out. So this is our RV, and this is an example of the campsites that are here. They are all gravel sites. Most of them are pretty level, some more so than others. This one wasn't too bad, as you can see. Jacks are a little high in the back, a little low in the front, but overall not too bad. They also have this gravel patio area, which is completely lined with cement, and it has the built-in fire pit there as well, and a picnic table at every site. And then I'm actually in an empty site next door, so I could show you this without walking around the camper, but each one of them does come with water. It comes with cable, which is kind of cool. So yeah, if you have cable on your RV, you can certainly have cable TV right inside. And then here is your electric box, and of course they do have 50 amp or 30 amp for those of us who have the higher ampage on our RVs. So it is water, that's water, electric, cable, and of course sewage as well. So full hookup, which is really nice, and it is $30 a night. There's also over here a little playground for kids, which you can see, which is really nice. It has been closed off for COVID, but just in the past week, they have opened everything back up so those facilities can be used. Okay, so now I want to show you one of the restrooms. So I showed you our RV just a few minutes ago, so it's right there. And then we just walk across this little grassy area, and this is one of the restrooms. And so I'm going to take you inside and let you take a look at this so you can see how they look. Again, these were just recently closed due to COVID, but they have been reopened, which is nice. So there's just 2 sinks in here. We have 2 women's toilet stalls. Nothing fancy, but they're very clean. The camp hosts, Jim and Sally, do a great job of keeping it clean. And then we're going to go over and we're going to take a look at the shower side as well. So here you can see the shower. There's one for women, one for men. It is just a single stall. There are handrails in there. There's a mat at the bottom. Clothing area with hooks hanging up there. Again, nothing fancy, but it's certainly everything you need. Other amenities that the base offers, or the base campground offers, are these pavilions. So there's one located down here by the pond, and there's also another one located just past the kids' playground. You can see the end of it right there. Also on the other side of that pavilion and playground is the laundry facilities and more restrooms and sort of a game room, and I'll take you up there in just a moment. So here's that second pavilion that I showed you from a distance earlier, and this has a grill here. There was a group here, a military group yesterday for Mother's Day, having a big old cookout. So there's a big double grill that's available for you to use. Lots of tables in here for people to sit at under shade. Out here in this brick patio area, this is a little more open. There are tables out here. So this is the main building for the campground. This houses restrooms on this end that you see right now. This door in the middle is laundry. And then the door over to the right is kind of that game room or that public room that you can use. And we'll go inside and take a look at each of those. Okay, so here we are coming into the women's restroom in the main building. So as you can see, a little more updated up here. It's got tiles surrounding the bathrooms or the toilets. We've got toilets. One is handicap accessible, which is really handy. And then further down here, let's see if our lights, there's our lights. This is a great bench, so you can put your things. There are hooks up above, and there are 3 shower stalls in this particular facility. So this one is handicap accessible. The other 2 are not. So these do have a step up lip. Not a really high step, but it is important to note that it does have a step up lip there. Shower curtains are up. Everything looks really good. Jim and Sally do a fabulous job of keeping this clean as well. So that is the women's shower in the main building. So now we're in the laundry facility. So this room actually connects to the room next door, which is the that kind of multi-purpose room that I talked about. But there are 4 washers, there are 4 dryers, and even though you do see that these look like they're coin operated, this is my favorite part. No coins needed, just push the lever in. So all of these are absolutely free of charge, and you can use them as often as you need right here at Camp Atterbury. So now I'm standing in the doorway to the laundry room, and I'm going to go next door to this sort of meeting room that I mentioned before. So that's the doors to the outside. You can kind of see the playground out there. It's got a table in here. A lot of times we'll sit in larger groups and play games on this table. There's some pretty comfortable furniture in here. There's a TV with cable. There's information on the board on how to turn the cable on, so you can take advantage of that. Got a real comfy sofa here as well. Over here, they have a rack that has there are puzzles down the bottom. There are books that you can come and trade. There are magazines. Anything you're interested in, you can do this. It's kind of a really great thing. I like to take advantage of this. I drop off the book I just finished and pick up a new one as I go along my way. And then I don't have to have a whole lot of books in storage in my RV. I just can get one every time I stop someplace new. There's also a refrigerator in here, so if you are having parties or get-togethers, you can certainly utilize the refrigerator. Put your snacks in there. You can even bring them in advance and have them nearby. So this is the multi-purpose room. So this is just another little view of the campground. You can see it's got quite a few sites. I believe there are about 30 sites here at Camp Atterbury. Only these in this row, so sites number 8 through site number 13 are the only ones that are pull through. All the others are back in sites. But again, they have the same amenities as all the others. The other thing that's kind of interesting about Camp Atterbury is I think you can see over there to my left, those are their storage areas. So if you're looking to store a RV, a boat, something long-term, you can also do that at Camp Atterbury. The cost is pretty minimal, especially if you compare it to Indianapolis prices. So it's a great place where you can store your items long-term, or if you just want to camp, this is a great option too. So I mentioned earlier that there is a pond here on the at the campground, and it's a pretty decent little sized pond. Lots of area all the way around where you can fish. It is a catch and release pond, so anything you catch you throw back. But I can tell you that my husband has come down here several times. Every time he comes down, he catches 3 or 4 fish, and some are pretty good size. So it's kind of a fun little pond to do some fishing at. And it's just right here by the campground, so it's really close. Just walk right over and enjoy that pond. So in addition to kind of showing you the campground, I also want to tell you just a little bit about some of the amenities here on the base and nearby. So this is a small base, but there is a really great USO. My husband and I have actually volunteered there several times. There's also a small, they call it a PX, but it's really kind of a glorified shopette. There are a few food items. There's obviously necessities, things like that. There are a few clothing items, but not a whole lot in that area, mostly military clothing. They also have a Class 6 store, so you can certainly get alcohol here. They also have a barber shop. There is a Subway on post. There's also a really great all ranks club. So they have good breakfast, they have a coffee bar, they have a bar, they have good food. Everything we've had there has been really good, so we can highly recommend that as well. And then off base, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is near Edinburgh, Indiana, which is also right next to Columbus, Indiana. I-65 is what goes right between Edinburgh and Columbus, so it's easy on and off from I-65. There is a great outlet mall here in Edinburgh, so all your favorite outlet stores can be found here. Of course, there's all the amenities that you would need in either Edinburgh or in Columbus with a Walmart, a Lowe's, there's gas stations, there's lots of restaurants to go to, so it's really just a great area, and you're about 45 minutes from the heart of Indianapolis. So if you're going to the edge of town, it would take a little less than that. If you're going north of town, maybe a little more. But it's pretty convenient. It's a great little location, kind of out of the way, and a little less known. But it's a really great place to stop here in the Midwest. One other thing I will mention is that because this isn't an active duty base, if you are a disabled veteran, whether you are retired or not, you can take advantage of this campground right here on Camp Atterbury. So I hope this has been helpful, and we'd love to see you here at what we refer to as our home base campground sometime. Remember, we are Hendrick Home on the Highway, and you can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, on our website at hendrickhomeonthehighway.com, and of course on this YouTube channel. We hope that you'll like us, share us, do all those cool social media things. All right. It's been great chatting with you today, and we'll see you down the road.